Miss USA and Miss Teen USA title holders are resigning from their positions. This just happening this last week. Noelia Voigt represented the state of Utah before becoming Miss USA in 2023, a pinnacle, a lifelong dream. But now she is giving up that crown, officially citing her mental health. She writes on Instagram, as individuals, we grow through experiencing different things in life that lead us to learning more about ourselves. Advocate for yourself and others by using your voice, and never be afraid of what the future holds, even if uncertain. She also took time to express gratitude for the opportunity of taking on such a highly coveted opportunity. And it seems like your typical resignation letter, right? But take a closer look at this. Perhaps a hidden and shocking message is revealed. The first letter of this 11 sentences spells out, "I am silenced." And many are now raising the alarm about this. The twin departures following the resignations of Miss USA's social media manager at the beginning of the month, amid reports of bullying and toxicity coming from the very top. Their sudden departure triggering a fresh wave of scrutiny into pageants. And now it begs the question, what exactly is happening inside of Miss USA? Here now to discuss former Miss Montana and attorney Heather Lee O'Keefe. Heather, I really appreciate you taking the time on this tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So we are seeing Noelia's decision to relinquish her crown, sparking this flurry of online speculations after fans noticing all those sentences in that statement reveal the phrase, "I am silenced." What do you make of all of this? What is going on inside of the organization that we do not know about?
What most people don't realize is that the contracts the contestants sign to compete for Miss USA are absurd. They span over 25 pages of legal jargon and they are non-negotiable. So you either sign it or you don't compete. And during my year competing back in 2022, there was even a clause that allowed the organization to override the judges' decisions and handpick the winner. So I spoke out against this, highlighting how contestants were signing away their rights to a fair competition. And although there's been a change in ownership since then, I've heard that they've now introduced perpetual non-disclosure and non-disparagement clauses, restricting contestants and winners like Noelia from criticizing the organization.
Tell me more about this, because we have these sudden resignations. We're also seeing a leaked letter that the New York Times is publishing right now. Is there a specific person inside of this organization who is to blame for a toxic culture? Some of these other allegations, sexual harassment she's talking about at an event that she was attending.
Yes, I believe these allegations are referring to the new owner of the Miss USA organization. And over the last several years, it has switched hands multiple times. So there's just been a lot going on in this organization over the past few years. So though this may seem new, I think this is something that's really been swept under the rug for a long time coming now.
We are seeing a lot of speculation about one person in particular, Layla Rose. What can you tell us about her and what you have heard about her?
I haven't heard good things personally. I haven't met her though, so I can't speak to my personal knowledge. But I do know that since she has become the owner of the organization, she has introduced those new clauses that restrict contestants and the winners from speaking negatively or criticizing the organization in any way. And from a legal standpoint, I would argue that these clauses in the new contract are unconscionable, which is a contract law term that's used to describe something that is so unjust and oppressive that it shocks the conscience. So when one party, such as a contestant, is forced to sign away her rights without any meaningful choice, this is a clear example of unconscionability. And when it comes to the new Miss USA contract and years prior, I think the sheer imbalance of power is more than obvious.
I really appreciate that. I also appreciate the legal perspective you're bringing on this. I want to ask you about this leaked resignation letter that the New York Times is reporting right now. Ms. Voigt saying that she experienced sexual harassment last year. It was during a Christmas parade. She says a driver made inappropriate comments towards her. This was in Florida. And she says the organization failed to support her when she reported this incident. Does that surprise you?
It's very unfortunate that that happened, and it breaks my heart to hear that that happened to her and that she wasn't receiving the support that that she should. And, I think that that just goes to show these unprecedented resignations of both Noelia as Miss USA and her Miss Teen USA really just highlights the gravity of the situation. However, their inability to speak out even further due to the enforced NDA has really left many concerned. And in response, contestants and pageant fans are urging the organization to waive this NDA, recognizing that transparency is really essential for restoring trust and integrity in these competitions. And really hearing Noelia's side of the story, we all want to hear more from her.
And Heather, we're out of time, but in just about 7 seconds, is there a toxic underbelly to the Miss USA organization?
I think so. And like I've said, I think this is something that has been going on for far too long. And I really commend Noelia and the Miss Teen USA for their resignation and their bravery.
All right, Heather Lee O'Keefe, I really appreciate your time, former Miss Montana and current attorney. Thank you.
Thank you.
And tonight,